Hey everyone, Riley here with Rocktone Revelry, bringing you the Gibson Les Paul Custom 70s model. Now this is, if I'm not mistaken, the first Les Paul Custom to be made in the USA factory versus the custom shop factory since about 2006. I'm pretty sure anyway. If I'm not correct, please let me know in the comments. But it's very cool, and I'm glad that they've kind of done this mashup of 70s specs. It's not a direct reissue for any particular year. They've kind of taken a few things that the 70s Les Paul Customs are known for and threw them into one guitar. I will say right off the bat, no pancake body in these. That was a cost-saving measure in the 70s, the Norlin era stuff, and they're not doing that anymore. But mahogany body, three-piece maple top, a Nashville bridge, which didn't come into play until the mid to late 70s, I believe. But the two things that kind of matter most to me as a player are the neck and the pickup. So maple neck on these, and the profile is pretty small, not as thin and flat as a lot of the other like Epiphone Les Paul Customs of the last 10 years and some of the later 70s Les Pauls. It does have some nice roundness to it still. It is smaller here and then tapers up to a chunkier profile as you go up. It's very comfortable. If you like smaller necks, this will be a nice thing for you. It's definitely not chunky. Like my 58 reissue Les Paul over there definitely has that big sort of baseball bat neck. This is not that, but does still have some nice roundness to the profile. Also comes with Gibson's calibrated T-types, which are basically reissues of the old T-top pickups of like the late 60s, early 70s. So they are not wax potted. So if you're playing at loud volumes and you go to face the amp, the thing is probably going to squeal at you. You're going to get some feedback, but the unpotted part of the pickup design makes it pretty responsive, and there's a lot more clarity in the high end, which is really nice, which makes this thing a pretty bitey beast. I measured the DC resistance through my multimeter just with a cable out of the jack, and they're not hot pickups. The bridge measures about 7.3 k ohm, and the neck measures about 7.05. So again, they're not hot pickups, but the thing definitely has some growl and some bite. So let's take a listen.